Okay, so let's have a look at multiplying and dividing fractions. Here's my sum. I've got 3/4 multiplied by 8/9. With multiplying fractions, it's a nice, easy technique or method, and it is simply multiplying the numerators together and then multiplying the denominators together. Sometimes our questions will ask us to simplify it, and we'll get onto that in a second. So if we multiply 3 by 8 and then 4 by 9, it should leave us with the fraction 24/36. This simplified makes 2/3. And the way we can do that is trying to work out our lowest common multiple or lowest common factor. Or if you're not confident in doing that, what my little top tip is, I look at my fraction and say, if they are both even, then I can halve them and I can keep halving the numbers until I get to a point where I can't anymore. Otherwise, if you can look at it and say, are these numbers a multiple of 3 or 4 or 5, and you can do it that way. Sometimes we're given a sum where we've got a mixed number multiplied by a fraction. So let's take 3 3/5 multiplied by 1/6. And in this case, we just need to convert my improper fraction into my mixed number into an improper fraction. The way we do that is we take our whole number and we multiply it by the denominator. So we've got 3 times 5 equals 15. I add that onto the numerator. That gives me 18/5 and then 1/6. And then we're back to step 1, which is numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. And that gives me 18/30. And that can be simplified if you want it. Right. Dividing fractions. We've got our little acronym KCF. Some children like to remember it as KFC, but hopefully they'll remember to swap those C and the F round. K stands for keep, C stands for change, and the F stands for flip. So let's take our sum here of 3/4 divided by 4/5. Could have probably picked a different one, but we'll go with that to start with. If I keep my 3/4, I change my division to multiplication and I flip this round to make an improper fraction as 5/4 or 5/4. Now it's simple as multiplying up my numerators and my denominators. So that gives me 15/16. Okay, and that's how I do that. Sometimes we might face a question where we've got a fraction divided by a whole number, like 6. So it'd be 9/10 divided by 6. What I like to do, although it's kind of an extra step, it just helps us order it and we go methodically step by step. The way to turn my whole number into a fraction is just to put it over 1. So now I've got 2 fractions there. And I can then use my acronym where I keep the 9/10, I change the division, and I flip this fraction around to make 1/6. Some friends of ours in class might just know that they can multiply the denominator by the whole number. That is fine. But if you struggle with this, I really, really encourage you to just put that whole number over 1. And it means then you can use the same method that we use when we're doing fractions divided by fractions. Okay, and that should be that.